was kind of running through jokes about the president of Peru and my colleague Paul Mark, the state rep who actually lives in Peru. But I'll leave those be and simply say this. It has been a great deal of fun, really, to be the chair of the Telecom, Utilities, and Energy Committee at a time where we were building on work that this legislature and this administration had embarked on now a little over 6 years ago, that we've already seen the fruits of. As many of you may have heard me told the story or tell the story before, I represent an area with an economy that has gone through a great deal of transition. In many of those communities, at one point, the major employer were paper mills. And when I was elected in 2006, sworn in 2007, just about a few weeks after I figured out where the bathrooms were in this building and what I was expected to be doing with my time here, I got a call from 3 of those plant owners at the paper mills. And they called me and said, listen, Senator, we're not really sure if there's anything you can do, but we've received our most recent update of our electricity bill, and it looks like it's going to be going up somewhere between $200,000 a year for one of us to $800,000 a year for another. And we had a brief and frank discussion, and at that moment I committed myself, and I think the entire delegation of Berkshires did, to try to make sure that no other state rep or state senator ever had a phone call like that again. And one of the things as we talked, and one of the conclusions I came to, was realizing that the only way to avoid that was to not do what we had done for too long, which was stick our head in the sand and say this problem is too big for us to solve at the state level. It needs to be done by somebody else, or there needs to be a national solution, there needs to be an international solution. Certainly there needs to be when it comes to climate, and certainly solar will play a huge role in that. But certainly also there is a role for state leadership, there is a role for regional leadership, and we have seen through the Green Communities Act, the Green Jobs Act, Global Warming Solutions Act, the investments that we've made both through the budget and the environmental bond bill, that Massachusetts has shown that doing the right thing for the environment can also be doing the right thing for the economy, both in the long term and in the short term. I drive altogether way too many times back and forth between Pittsfield and this building. I do it in a hybrid, and that hybrid has about 215,000 miles on it right now, so I'm in the market for another. But one of my favorite moments in those rides, because there's always at least one of those moments these days, is when I see one of our now, it seems, ubiquitous installers' trucks driving along the turnpike, or parked in front of a local restaurant, parked at a coffee shop, right next to any of the number of other contractors' trucks in similar positions. I have been blessed to have communities that have welcomed the clean energy revolution that we're undertaking in this state with open arms. I have Williamstown and Lee going through the Solar Advocacy process right now. Pittsfield and Lennox that have gone through it already. Pittsfield is home to the first utility-owned solar project in the Commonwealth. Berkshire Community College has a massive solar array on their rooftop, which they use as a teaching tool there on campus. Pittsfield has its wastewater treatment plant, a solar array that is keeping water prices down for residents of the Commonwealth. The towns of Lee and Lennox, which if any of you know Lee and Lennox, couldn't agree on anything if they tried, can agree on one thing: solar energy. They're actually working on a significant solar project right now that has brought the towns together, that has formed a partnership between the two of them, which, if you had ever asked me would have happened, I said it would have been more likely for the Hatfields and the McCoys to come together. So solar is the win-win across the board if we have the will to support it and to do the right things. We've done those here in Massachusetts, and I say we because while I am humbled and honored to accept this award, it truly is a we. We, at committee level, I've been blessed with a great co-chair in John Keenan, who I know shares my belief that solar, the role for solar is absolutely unlimited in Massachusetts. Massachusetts. We, in the sense that we have a great administration and a partner in the governor and lieutenant governor and their team that have really made this the centerpiece not only of their energy strategy but of their economic development strategy. And we, in the partnership between the public sector and the private sector, to make sure that these policies are carried out in the most cost-effective way possible. Let me close by saying this. I think my favorite event that I've been to for solar events, and I've been to a lot where it's been sunny and somewhere it hasn't, but my favorite event was one in Adams where the town is working on a solar project on an old dump site on a landfill that's being capped right now. And students from McCann Tech, our local regional vote tech school, who are all electrical students, came up, were there for the announcement of the project, were able to ask the developer about the technology on the project, were able to talk with folks in town about different opportunities around the project, and you could see in each and every one of those students who was there, not only the excitement of learning something new, but the excitement of being involved in something bigger than themselves. Yes, they may have seen careers in that announcement, and yes, they may have been personally interested in the technology and its applications and its implications, but for all of them, they looked at that and they said, there is a problem that I am going to be a part of solving. And you could see that that was a moment that nearly everyone who was at that event would take with them and carry with them, no matter what they did with their careers. So I look forward to working with all of you to make sure there are more moments like that in every one of the 351 cities and towns in this Commonwealth. And I look forward to the day when we look back on 1.6 gigawatts as our goal for solar and say, remember those clean little days when we had those small days. So, thank you all for all the work you have done to help us get to this point. I look forward to working with you in the years ahead to make sure that we are even more successful moving forward. So thank you very much.